Matthew Tower, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you for hosting me, Kim. It's such an honor to be on your show.
Well, there was a lot of great response to the documentary that we aired on the 4th of July, your documentary, and you were very kind to let us to let us take the whole thing and stream it out. And a lot of people watched it. Obviously, it got huge numbers and a lot of really positive, overwhelmingly positive feedback. In fact, I want to say 100% positive feedback was what I
Mm.
received in my email. There were some maybe some had some skepticism or some questions about certain parts, or they wanted you to go deeper into certain sections. We'll get into some of the responses a little bit later. But first, tell us the documentary actually, first, let's start with you because you start off in the documentary saying that you are a former Jew and a former Zionist. What does that mean?
Yeah, Kim. So I grew up Jewish and I grew up in a Zionist household, right? So I was completely indoctrinated in all aspects of the Jewish religion and the ideology of Zionism. And one of my formative memories was being in Jewish religious school at age 8 and being forced to sing a pledge of allegiance to the state of Israel and to the Israeli flag. And one of the lines that is, imprinted on my memory from that song was the blue and the white, the Israeli flag, are colors of mine. The blue and the white are colors of mine. So I grew up with this ideology, and basically I had to spend my early adult life um, decontaminating myself from all aspects of the Zionist ideology and the Jewish religion, frankly, which is completely tied up in the ideology of the state of Israel. And as I think you know, Benjamin Netanyahu quoted the Jewish Bible in demanding that the Israeli army commit a genocide in Gaza. So my life journey has been um, awakening to the truth of the Palestinian just cause and the true nature of Israel. And this documentary is my attempt to sort of give something back to the world to make up for what my former tribe has done. And the last part of that is I have converted to Christianity. So that's why I say I'm a former Jew, in addition to being
Mhm.
a former Zionist.
Okay, so you say that you grew up Jewish, like here in the United States, and you were pledging allegiance to the flag of Israel?
Correct. At age 8. Yes.
At a what kind of a school?
Yeah, so it was a Jewish conservative synagogue in the southeastern United States. Okay,
Uh-huh.
and um, the education about Torah. Torah is the five books of Moses. So that's the core Jewish religious document, is the five books of Moses, right? The Torah. The education that I received as a kid about the Jewish religion was completely intertwined with Zionist education at all times. And
Right,
I,
I'm
of
just trying to
course, had
figure
no
out,
idea.
was this in your school, like a curriculum? Or are you saying that this is when you went to synagogue on Saturdays? Is that the day that, I believe that's the day, right, to go to synagogue? I'm not 100% certain.
Actually, yeah. So the school I went to was actually called Sunday school. So it was once a week religious education. So I went to public schools, of course, Monday through
Okay.
Friday, but then Sundays,
Uh-huh.
and then yes, the Shabbat services are actually on Friday nights are Shabbat
Oh,
services
on Friday
typically,
nights, okay.
but
Okay,
the
so
actual
I was just
school that
trying
I
to
went
figure this
to,
out of, were you going to school and at the school they were telling you, "Okay, pledge allegiance to Israel," or you're saying that this was during Sunday school at your local synagogue that they were having
yeah,
you.
Jewish weekly Sunday school, yeah.
Okay. What type of, I know that there's, just like in Christianity, there's a variety of different types of Judaism, I would imagine, right? There's, people that go to a Chabad, for example, and others that do not, right? And they practice different ideologies. That's We've seen this kind of play out in Israel lately with the Haredis and the conscription issues. They're trying to get them to conscribe to the IDF, and they don't want to because of their religious beliefs, which are different than other Jews in Israel. So what type of Judaism was this? I mean, was this like, were you at a Chabad where they're very ultra Zionist? Was it like, what would you, or was it just really mainstream, like just your regular synagogue down the streets having you? I'm asking this because if they're asking you to pledge your allegiance, if they're asking little kids to learn to pledge their allegiance to the flag of Israel, I'm just trying to figure out, is this all synagogues and Sunday schools, do you think, or is this certain branches of Judaism?
My assumption is that this is completely and totally widespread through virtually every single branch of Judaism. Synagogue was a conservative synagogue. Okay,
Mhm.
so it was just a run of the mill. It was the only synagogue in town where I grew up, and they actually had Orthodox services as well as conservative services at the synagogue. Um, and but my experience in the world of American Judaism is Judaism and fealty and loyalty to the state of Israel are totally intertwined. And Jews who are exiting Zionism are very much the minority.
Hmm. How do you think that happened? I mean, how do you think that they were able to that Zionism was able to infiltrate Judaism in the United States like that to get, all the Jews to go to synagogue and pledge allegiance to a foreign Middle Eastern country? When that foreign Middle Eastern country in particular was founded on secular Jewish I don't I it's, like, hard to even describe exactly, but the people that founded it weren't even religious. They didn't even like being Jews religiously.
Well, what you just stated is, from my perspective, one of the many misperceptions about the state of Israel that I believe is being intentionally spread to deceive Americans who are not inside the Jewish world. My
Okay.
research says that the founding of the state of Israel was absolutely and completely intertwined with the Jewish religion in every conceivable way. And that the idea that the founders were secular was a cover story and was largely false. And I'll give you an example of this, Kim. David Ben Gurion, who is the founder, okay, the founding prime minister of Israel,
Mhm.
infamously stated that the Torah is his deed to the land of Palestine. So when he came in and ethnically cleansed Palestine and kicked out all the 750,000 Palestinians at gunpoint, right, in the Nakba of 1948, around that time, he was asked, well, why do you own this land? And he said, the Torah, God promised it to us. So this was always a religious ideology. And,
Mm.
and this is something that's in my documentary film, which is entitled Israel's Second 9/11: How Zionism Conquered JFK, America, and Palestine. In the documentary film, what I've exposed is that David Ben Gurion in 1962 made a startling announcement in Look magazine, okay, which at the time was the #2 magazine in America. It no longer exists, but it had millions of readers. And in 1962, David Ben Gurion said that in the future, a Jewish Zionist one world government, okay, would be created with Jerusalem as the global capital. So, this whole idea of globalism, that's all about Israel conquering and ruling the world according to the Torah, which is established in this Jewish religious document. And furthermore, David Ben Gurion, the founding prime minister of Israel, in a conversation with another Zionist leader named Nahum Goldman, this is one of the most important interactions, I think, of the 20th century, because it reveals virtually everything you could possibly want to know about the state of Israel in one conversation. You know, David Ben Gurion said, if I was an Arab leader, I would never make peace with Israel. That is natural. We, the Zionist Jews, have come here and taken their country. Sure, God promised it to us. So there you go. There's the religious invocation to the Torah. God promised it to us. But what is that to them? Our God is not theirs. So he's
Mhm.
stating that the Israeli Zionist Jews are worshiping a different God than the Palestinian Christians and Muslims. So there is very much a religious aspect to everything that has happened with Israel seizing Palestine and continuing to today, where, as I said, Netanyahu is ordering a genocide based on the
Mhm.
primary Jewish religious document, which is the Torah.
I mean, I mean, it makes a lot of sense because for one, somebody who's, let's say, claims to be secular and maybe grew up in a Christian household, but says, I'm not Christian, I'm secular, they wouldn't then go around citing the Bible to accomplish certain things. They wouldn't say, well, because God said and Jesus said and the Bible says. I mean, they would never, if a person's truly secular, they would never even cite any religious documents or religious creeds or anything at all. But you're right in that all of these people who claim to be secular continually cite God, continually cite religious text and religious history in order to justify whatever it is that they're doing. So how can you possibly be secular? Like, what does that even mean to that person? I wonder if they claim that they're secular, what does that mean? My guess is so why do you think that it's like not a conspiracy? What were you saying that it is? For them to tell us that it's secular when it's not? You're saying that that's it's like
I'd
gaslighting. I
say
mean, what would you
I would say it's a fake cover story. It's a
a
fake
cover
cover
story,
story
right.
to it's a fake cover
Yeah,
story to make certain aspects of Israel seem more palatable on a public
right.
relations basis to certain audiences, and they are
Well, what it
very effective at that.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this clip from the full Kim Iversen show. That's right, this is just a clip. If you want the full show, you can go to kimiversenshow.com and you can watch Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern for about 1 hour. It's totally free. Check it out, kimiversenshow.com. Thanks for watching.